Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Surekha Jaiswal, Head Department of Physics, Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bhukardan, District Jalna. Today we will see non-conventional energy sources, paper number 20, course code number PHY 306, semester 6. Today's topics are in chapter number 2, solar photovoltaic system, introduction and solar fundamentals. The word photovoltaic consists of two words, photo and volta. Photo, Greek word, means light and volta means the unit of the electrical voltage. In other words, when photon energy initiating from sun, that is solar energy, falls on a solar cell, a fraction of the incident energy with appropriate wavelength is converted into electricity. The technology of conversion is known as photovoltaic PV, and this necessitates the use of one or other variety of homojunctions, heterojunctions, and metal semiconductor junction in bulk and thin film forms. Several solar cells interconnected to form PV modules, which are the basic building block of solar photovoltaic system SPS. In 1839, Edmond Becquerel, a French physicist who first observed the photovoltaic effect and is credited with the discovery of the photovoltaic effect, the operating principle of the solar cell. In the age of 19, experimenting in his father's laboratory, Becquerel created the world's first photovoltaic cell. In this experiment, silver chloride or silver bromide was used to coat the platinum electrodes. Once the electrodes were illuminated, voltage and current were generated. Because of this work, the photovoltaic effect has also been known as Becquerel effect. As a part of his development of quantum theory, Albert Einstein published a theoretical explanation of the photovoltaic effect in 1904, which led to a Nobel Prize in 1923. Solar cells developed between 1940 and 50 had efficiencies in the range of 1 to 2%, and they were expensive too. Initially, the application of the photovoltaic cell was restricted to space applications. Energy crisis of 1917's improved cell efficiency and remarkable reduction in the cost of the cell led it to an accelerated development in solar photovoltaic technology. Currently, solar photovoltaic power generation is one of the most commercially successful and widely used renewable energy technology. The history of photovoltaic goes back to the year 1839 when Becquerel discovered the photovoltaic effect. But in that century, the technology was not available to take the advantage of this discovery. The semiconductor age began about 100 years later after Shockley and developed a Model for the PN junction. Bell Laboratories produced the first solar cell in 1954. The efficiency of this cell was about 5%. Initially, cost was not a major issue because the first cell were designed for space applications. In the following years, solar cell efficiency increased continuously. Laboratory silicon cells have reached efficiencies of around 30% today. The main material used in the construction of solar cells is still silicon, but other materials have been developed either for their potential for cost reduction or their potential for high efficiency. Costs have decreased significantly in recent years. However, photovoltaic electricity generating costs are still higher than the cost of conventional power plants. Due to high growth rate in the photovoltaic sector, cost reduction will continue. Photovoltaic offer the highest flexibility among renewable energy technology. One advantage is the modularity. All desired generator size can be released from the milliwatt range for the supply of wrist watches or pocket calculator to the megawatt range for public electricity supply. Major advantage of solar cells over conventional method of power system are: first, that is solar cells convert the solar radiation directly into electricity using photoelectric effect without going through a thermal process. Solar cells are reliable, modular, durable, and generally maintenance free and therefore suitable even in isolated and remote areas. Third advantage of solar cell are quiet, gentle, compatible, and almost all environments response instantaneously to solar radiation and have an accepted lifetime of 20 or more years. Solar cells can be located at the place of use and hence no distribution network is required. Make use of most abundant and free energy source on the planet. Direct conversion possible, no intervention of any heat engine. No moving parts therefore have minimum cost of maintenance with long life. Also, clean and silent source of power without any emission. Photovoltaic system can be built in virtually any size ranging from milliwatt to megawatt. Like other solar devices, solar cells are also have some disadvantages, such as the conversion efficiency of solar cell is limited to 30%. Since solar intensity is generally low, large area of solar cell modules are required to generate sufficient useful power. Second disadvantage, that is the present cost of solar cells are comparatively high, making them economically uncompetitive and with other conventional power generation methods for terrestrial application, particularly where the demand of power is very large. Solar energy is irregular and solar cell produce electricity when sun shine and in proportion to solar intensity. Hence, some kind of electric storage is required, making the whole system more costly. However, in large installation, the electricity generated by solar cells can be fed directly into the electric grid system. Solar cell fundamentals. The electrons in outermost shell of an atom are called valence electrons. The band occupied by valence electron is called valence band. We know atom consists of the nucleus and electrons that orbit the nucleus. According to quantum mechanics, electrons of an isolated atom can have only specific, discrete, or quantized energy level. In elements that have electrons in multiple orbitals, the innermost electron have the minimum energy and therefore required a large amount of energy to overcome the attraction of nucleus and become free when atoms are brought close together. The electronic energy of individual atom is altered and energy level are grouped in energy band. In some energy band, electrons are allowed to exist and in other energy band, electrons are forbidden. Now see in figure that shows the energy level of electrons. The band occupied by valence electrons is called valence band and the highest permitted band is called the conduction band, which is at higher energy level than the valence band. The electrons in this band move freely. The band gap in between the conduction band and the valence band is called the forbidden band, as electron cannot exist in this band. See in figure. This figure shows the energy level of electrons. No forbidden band exists between the valence band and the conduction band in a conductor. See in figure. Figure A shows the conductor. Difference between here conductor, semiconductor and insulator as shown in figure. Now the electrons can move easily from valence band to conduction band. However, forbidden band exists both in insulator and semiconductor. See in figure. There is a forbidden band. The forbidden band in insulator is more wide, more energy gap between valence and conduction band. Now In that figure, see semiconductor using energy band diagrams in briefly. See, in that schematic diagram of energy bands for typical materials, insulator, conductor and semiconductor. Now, before discussing these energy band gaps of insulator, conductor, semiconductor, we discuss about the valence band. The electrons in the outermost shell are only ones that interact with other atom. This is the highest normally filled bands which correspond to the ground state of valence electrons in an atom and is called valence band. And the electrons in the valence band are loosely attached to the nucleus of the atom and therefore may attach more easily to the neighboring atom, giving a negative charge and leaving original atom as positive charge ion. That is a about the valence band. Now, conduction band. Some electrons in the valence band may possess a lot of energy which enables them to jump into the higher band. These electrons are responsible for conduction of heat and electricity and this is called conduction band. The difference in the energy of an electron in the valence band and the innermost shell of the conduction band is called band gap. Now see in figure, in case of insulator as shown in diagram, in insulator the valence band is filled. See, filled valence band but the forbidden gap wide. See that forbidden band is a wide in that insulator. So the electrons from the valence band, these are the electrons. These electrons from the valence band, they cannot go empty conduction band. That's why the material are insulator. Now see in figure, the electrons cannot jump to that conduction band easily because here there is a wide forbidden band gap in case of insulator. Materials whose valence band is full and whose conduction band is empty, they have very high band gap and are called insulator. No current can be carried by electron. The band gap in this material is greater than 3 electron volt. Now see, in case of here, that is figure 2, that is a conductor. That is a schematic diagram of energy for the conductor as shown in figure 2. In case of conductor, here valence band and conduction band are here overlap each other. See in figure that valence band and conduction band both are here overlap to each other. that is shown in figure. So electrons from valence band immediately move from valence band to conduction band. Materials that have relatively empty valence band and may have some electrons in the conduction band are called conductors. These are metals and conducts heat and electricity. Now in case of semiconductor, here the forbidden zone is small as compared to insulator. Valence band is almost filled. Electrons jumps from valence band to conduction band. Semiconducting materials with valence gap partly filled have intermediate band gap and are called semiconductor. The band gap in these materials is less than 3 electron volt. Thank you.